Hi, my name is Fred Crick. Welcome to the Bosch Home Comfort Training Series. In this series, we're going to show you bit by bit, piece by piece, how this machine operates and how you're supposed to install it. Let's talk a little bit about the BVA air handler. This particular one is what we would call the 2.0 or the red labeled air handler. It is the best air handler that we have. It has a ECM, basically an X13 style blower motor that has 5 speeds. You're going to pick 4 of those. And the thing that we probably need to understand is that this air handler and all of the others that we have available are they do not have high static blowing devices. So it is everything under a 0.8 static on your ductwork will match up and make this air handler work properly. So what we have here is we have, of course, the thermostat wires coming out of the top. We have a coil inside this, and this particular air handler is your BVA 24. We have a 36, we have a 48, and we have a 60. One of the nicest things about this particular air handler is that it is a short style height, and the 5-ton air handler is only 22 inches wide. Which makes it conducive to go up into the attic area through the ceiling joists and things like that. We do not make a modular air handler. It's always one piece. But the nice thing about this air handler is that if I am going in an upflow application, I'm basically going to keep it just like that. Remember always that this is a heat pump air handler, and we're always going to draw through the air from the return side to the supply side, so we're drawing through the coil. My coil is like the case coil in that it is all aluminum tubed, aluminum finned, and it has a TXV valve that is ready to go and match up with our IDS unit. That TXV valve is heat pump ready. It is also a non-adjustable TXV valve. So let's open up the cabinet. 2 screws. When I open up the cabinet, you see immediately that I have my air blowing device. 2 screws and removal of the Molex plug allows me to slip that out if I ever need to look at it, work on it, adjust it, things like that. But I've got my board on the left-hand side. I have my IOM that comes inside the unit. And I also have the capability now of matching up my size of my air handler to the heat strips that I need. The heat strips are 5, 8, 15, and 20 kW. Now, you couldn't put a 20 kW heat strip on a BVA 024. I don't have enough air drive or air speed to keep those 20 kW heat strips from crystallizing. So you have to match up the airflow with the heat strips for that. But I do have basically 4 different types and styles of heat strips. All of those heat strips are going to require a second set of L1 and L2, or a second set of power supply that is done correctly with the breaker size and the amp draws of those particular types of heat strips. If I'm not putting any heat strips in this particular BVA air handler, all I have to do is match up my L1 and L2 and my ground and a 15 amp circuit, and this machine is ready to go, ready to supply you air. You notice back here in the back, I have a plate that can be removed, and that 5 or 8 kW heat strip can be put into this particular air handler. On the bigger air handlers, there's actually 2 plates there that I can remove and put those put those heat strips in at that point in time. So right now we have a upflow. The nice thing about this air handler is that it is a upflow, it is a horizontal left, it is a horizontal right out of the box. If I needed to go counterflow, all I have to do is remove the cover, remove the coil, flip the box, put the coil back in, put the cover back on, and it's now ready for a downflow. Let me show you how to do that. So I've removed my coil, flipped my air handler box, and now I'm going to put the coil back in, making sure that I get it into the slides. I like to put the shipping brackets back in. And this is my T3 sensor. Remember that my T3 sensor has to go into the coil. It's got a little port there. So when I reinstalled the coil, down here on the bottom near the fan harness, there was the T3 sensor all rolled up in a little bundle. I clipped that bundle, that zip tie, and I'm now going to take the T3, run it through a little chase over here on the left-hand side, pulling it up, and it is going to, this sensor is going to go back into the port. Now I can put this all back together, zip tied again for the installation. Now that we have the coil back in, it has been flipped over, let's do a little bit of a review. This BVA red labeled air handler comes in 4 sizes, 2 ton, 3, 4, and 5. The issue behind the tonnages is that you want to make sure that you're going to match up the load, match up your ductwork to the airflow that this is going to be supplying. Again, the IDS unit, 350 CFM per ton. Remember that this particular 5-speed ECM style motor, I can have 4 speeds if I want to. If I have enough control wire, I can do a Y1, Y2, air conditioning type situation, downgrade, upgrade the fan speed. I can do a W1, W2, doing the same thing with the fan speed. So you pick and you choose the BVA air handler, red labeled. And remember, one of the best features about this machine is the anti-cold blow. We're not going to blow cold air when we need to blow warm air.
Thank you for watching. If you want to learn more about reliable and energy-efficient Bosch products, visit bosch-homecomfort.us.